Today I'll show you how to change your engine oil and oil filter on a Ford Focus Mk1. Hi, and thanks for watching the channel. Today we're going to do something really simple, and that is how to change the oil and oil filter in your car. Now, how often you do this really depends on how many miles you do and how you drive your car, how aggressively or what sort of road conditions are in your area. So just check your service manual about how often you need to do this, and let's go change the oil in your car. The tools you're going to need are fresh engine oil, and it's 5W30 for the Ford Focus Mk1, a new oil filter, an oil filter removal tool, a funnel, some paper towels or rags, a ratchet, a 13mm socket for the Focus Mk1, but your car may need a different size socket, an oil catch pan, and some gloves to keep the oil off your hands. So really, this is an easy one today, and even if you've never done this before, you should really get this done in about an hour. Now, if you're like me and you've had a number of cars, you're probably already bored about me talking to you about oil changes. You can probably do these in your sleep. But if you're new to cars, or if you're new to working on cars, then this video is for you. So let's go. The first thing you'll want to do when changing your oil is go for a drive. Yes, I know, you're probably thinking, what is he doing? Where's he going? But really what you want to do before you drain the oil in your car is warm it up, make it nice and warm. So go for a 5-minute drive and warm up your engine. And what that will do is warm up the oil in your car, so that when you crack the oil sump and drain it, all the oil will come out a lot easier. So think about oil like honey or butter. It sticks to things, and the warmer it gets, the easier it flows. So you want it nice and warm, so that when you pour it out, it comes out nice and easy, and most of it will come out. You won't have large parts of it sticking to your engine and staying in there. But really, this only takes about 5 minutes, and then head on back and get started. Once you're back from your 5-minute drive, jack your car up or put it on a ramp. I'll be using ramps today. Try to have it so that the front of your car is higher than the rear, because usually the plug for the oil sump is located at the rear of the oil pan. So with your car on an angle like this, it will let gravity help push the old oil out. So with that done, get your oil pan, some paper towels, some gloves, a socket and a ratchet ready. On a Ford Focus Mk1, the socket size you will need is a 13mm socket. Climb on under, and using the socket and ratchet, go ahead and crack the sump plug. To avoid getting oil everywhere, there's a simple trick you can do. As you wind the plug out, push inward, and this will help keep a seal on the plug. Then when you get to the end of the thread, just pull the plug away quickly. Now head over to your filler cap and take it off. This will create an open circuit in your engine, which will let the oil flow out quicker. Okay, so the old oil is pouring out into the oil pan, and you have a few moments to spare. Take this time to clean the sump plug of any excess oil if necessary, and replace it if need be. I actually like to change my oil at around lunchtime, because it gives me something to do while waiting around for the old oil to completely drain out. What? When I'm finished stuffing my face, the oil should be all out. Yep, that's all done. Oil drain plug back in. Tighten up snugly, about 25 Nm should be plenty, and you should be done here. Okay, oil filter next. On the Ford Focus Mk1, the filter is found here. Now chances are that the oil filter on your car will be on pretty tight. So to get it off, you're going to need one of these tools. And all they really do is help take your oil filter off. And they're called, wait for it, an oil filter removal tool. So all you do is you basically slide it on, and you tighten the filter removal tool onto the oil filter on your car. You give it a good crank to get it loose, and then you loosen it back up, pop it off, and the rest of the oil filter should be able to come off just with your hand. Use a rag or paper towel around the filter so that you don't make a complete mess, and wind it off. Have your oil catch pan underneath the filter to stop any oil falling all over the place, and let it drain out. Okay, now that the filter is off, just clean the area around the engine where the filter screws on to make sure you get a nice, clean and tight seal with the new filter. With the new filter, make sure you use a small amount of clean oil to lubricate the rubber ring and go ahead and screw it on. This can just be hand tight, no need to crank on it too much, just do it up firmly. Okay, your filter is on, your sun plug is in, so it's time to put the fresh oil in. Double check how much oil needs to go in and grab a funnel, or you can use a cut down plastic bottle and attach it to your filler cap. Make sure you keep checking your bottle to see how much has gone in. You don't want to overfill your car because it's actually bad for your engine. But if you accidentally do, don't stress. Just crack the sun filler plug and let some of the oil pour out. Then tighten it back up when the oil level is lower. What I like to do now is get the oil level to a point where it's registering on the dipstick on the low end and then stop. The reason I do this is because remember, your engine is on a slant. So right now I'll stop to get the car back on level ground first and then do the final little bit on a level surface to make sure I'm not getting an incorrect reading. Okay, one more check. Looks like it needs just a little bit more. What you want to do is get your oil level between these two notches. So the difference between the low mark and the high mark on a dipstick is usually about 1 litre. So if you're at low, you know to add another litre to get the dipstick to read full. Or if it reads halfway, you need to add another half a litre and so on. Okay, mine's good now, so that's it. Cap back on and you should be good to go. Over the next few drives, just check that you don't have any leaks coming from the sun plug or the oil filter, and if you do, it just usually means that you need to snug them up a little more. And finally, make sure you dispose of your old engine oil safely. Don't throw it in the bin, take it to your local council collection point or your local auto parts store might take it too. Alright, as a final note, as you do this job, you may come along some oil leaks along the way, and I certainly have. On the left side here, I've got an oil leak. My distributor is covered in oil. Now I know it's not my rocker cover gasket because I've changed that recently and that's good to go. But if I trace the oil back to up here, I can see that my camshaft position sensor is covered in oil, so I'm thinking that gasket has let go. When I chase the oil down, my gearbox is covered in oil, so I've got some cleanup to do. But when I look up from the gearbox, I can see a coolant leak, which means that my thermostat housing is probably gone, right? On the right hand side here, I've got a power steering leak. Now, I know it's power steering fluid because if I look at my power steering fluid reservoir tank, the power steering fluid is low. So I definitely have some more DIY videos to do on this car. Look, I'm not complaining, you know, this is an old car, it's 18 years old, it's got 160,000 kilometers on it, or 100,000 miles, so, you know, a plastic thermostat housing has lasted that long, so has a plastic camshaft sensor and a power steering pump. You know, these things wear out, that's how it goes. But subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you want to see when I post up these videos. You know, I'd like to show people that, you know, you can do these yourself at home. You don't have to spend ridiculous amounts of money to keep an old car on the road. You can do most of these jobs yourself and, you know, do it fairly cheaply. So yeah, hope you subscribe and click the bell and let me know in the comments below if you want to see something in particular. But that's it for the engine oil and engine filter change video. I hope you like what you saw and go ahead and try this yourself on your car if you like.